Are you tired of entering trades too early and missing out on the big moves? In this video, I'll reveal my new market structure strategy paired with confirmation entries so you can start catching precise trades like the pros. We're going to start on the monthly time frame, working our way down to an entry, understanding the precise entry on a 15-minute time frame. The way we're going to do this is using the new market structure technique. And don't worry, because if you're not sure on how to use this, keep watching to the end of this video. There's a video coming up next which will take you through step by step on how to apply it. And of course, if you want to take your trading further, don't forget the 90-day profit trading system is open to enrollees. We have a few spots left. You can check it out, link in the description of this video. So the way we look at marking our structures, we need our 3 levels on a chart. We want to have our current monthly high. We need a monthly low. Okay, very simple. And we need a current breaker structure for direction. And that's a monthly breaker structure. So that's all we need. Now, what we're going to look at is where we see our last breaker structure. We're going to use this low in the market. We have a break of structure here to the downside, marking up my high. And don't worry too much about how we're marking up this at the moment. Say the next video will help you to understand how to mark up the structures. Just want to go through in this video to demonstrate how you can get precise entries using this type of structure. And this will be my current low. Now it's a valid low after this current blue candle has closed. And this is a valid high where we see this bearish candle closing down. So now we have here on the way down a bearish structure. We have, let me just quickly go through marking it. We have an area of supply here. This video is not really going through the supply. It's more about use of market structures with a precise entry, understanding your market structures. And we have another area of supply here, which is a drop-based drop. It's at an area, okay, of premium, which is important. And you see price comes in and we drop out. So this is your monthly time frame. Okay, quickly we can mark it up. We understand we're bearish. Now, what I'm going to do now is go back to replay mode. Let's go here somewhere. And I will briefly mark out this zone here, this monthly zone. Let's mark it off as a monthly supply. And then we'll go down to a weekly time frame, just so you can see how this will work. So with your structure, we can identify that swing to downside. Look at the swing move down, shows as a trend on the lower time frame. It's important you understand how the markets do actually move. Now from here, we do the same thing again. Let's just mark them off. We need a weekly high. We also need that weekly low. And we need that BOS on the weekly. Once you've got these marked out ready, we can proceed with what we're looking for. So we're going to use this breaker structure level. We can see we have a break to downside, creates a new high here, a new low. We have another break here to downside and that bearish candle. That creates a new high here and a low here. We then have another valid breaker structure bullish here in the market. Now that creates a new swing low here and a new swing high here. So I'll just mark the high off. Now you can identify when we push up, we failed to break that high. We just sweep through and we pull back. But as we have this break to the upside, this is still my valid low. Now what we can identify is that we do have this low created, what made that sweep, and it could become an area in the market where you may see a sweep in the market. We're looking for continuation to the upside. We want to see a break of this high because that will be a new break of structure. I mean, we have a low here, a high. That's my current trading range. You're looking for a continuation. Okay, we're always looking for that continuation, and the fact we haven't even come into this area of supply on the monthly is key. I'm not really going to go into supply and demand too much because it will complicate things. If we go forward, we want to just see if we can break out. Let's go forward a few candles. Right, okay, so a strong break to the upside. Now we can move this off. We can move this to here. This is your valid breaker structure level. When we see this breakout, this becomes my valid low in the market. Now, understanding confirmation entry is understanding where we see a shift in structure. You may understand it perhaps as a change of character. Many of you will have learned that over the years. But before the change of character was even on the scene, it was just a reversal of a trend. It's a confirmation of that reversal. So we have price pushing up into the supply. Now, to confirm okay, this supply is held. We need to see this weekly shifting back bearish. That will confirm the reversal of the trend, the reversal of our current structure. So just go forward. So now I can actually mark off this as a high. It's a valid high. So now if we have a push up higher again, that's a continuation. A close of this low is the reversal. Now we just push forward, see what happens. Okay, this is how we can read these structures. So we have a valid closed through. That gives me a new break of structure. Okay, so this becomes your break of structure. This remains my current high, and we're looking for a new low to be formed. And we're just waiting for that to go forward. Let me just fast forward. Okay, now I have a valid on the close of this bullish candle is a valid low here. So now we have a valid low. That is my current trading range. What does that mean now? I'm looking for price to pull back into the new weekly supply up here. Okay, very simple. Yes, we can look to trade this if you understand counter trend trading. Let's go forward and see if price pulls back to this area. So we'll continue to pull back. Now we do nothing until we break the high or break the low of that trading range. Obviously, we can look for potential entries out of these areas here of supply. But let's just follow price. I want just to get you to understand the use of price with these structures. Now, obviously, I know what happens because I was trading this when it was happening. But right now, we're looking at price still trapped, okay, between these two areas. Now, if we continue to push up and push through, that's a continuation with structure, or a shift, sorry, in structure and a continuation bullish. But if we hold now this area of supply after the previous tested zone, we have a sweep of that high, we can see a continuation run lower. Let's just go forward. And then obviously what we can do now, we can look to confirm this. So here, when we see price pushing back in, what we can now do, let me just go back on the replay. And this is going to help you understand what we're looking at. We have an area of supply here. That's where price is pushing into. So we go down to daily now. And we look for that daily to shift out. And we're going to do the same thing with these structures. We need to have, I'm going to mark it off. There's a valid break of structure there for me on a daily. Zoom in. Let's get right in close, you can see. And this candle closed down, creates a valid swing low. And again, don't worry if you're not sure, watch that video at the end of this video. That will go through more depth on how you mark all this up. Now, we don't have a valid high yet. Let's go forward price. Okay, now we have a valid high I can mark off. So I can mark this as a valid daily high. So what do I need to see now from here? Well, again, we need to confirm. We need a confirmation of a trend shift, okay? To understand that this supply zone now on a weekly, just like we saw back here, shift out on the weekly out of this monthly zone, we need to see the same thing happening on this move to downside. So if we can now push down, okay, we're moving sideways. We've come back up, we've swept that high as long as it's only a sweep of a high and it's not a break of structure, then we hold as we are. And we're waiting to see if we can run low. Now there's ways of looking for trades here. Now we have a break of structure. So I can take this away. This creates a new break of structure to the downside. It's our confirmation out of that area of supply, okay, on the weekly time frame. This then becomes my high in the market. Okay, so my current trading range high. Price is now continuing down. Now we can look for where we expect price to want to bounce from. Previous area of demand, perhaps. Okay, we don't have a valid low created. Let's go forward. Okay, now we've pushed into that demand. Let's see what happens. We've swept the low of that demand, and this candle is a validation of this low. So now we have a validated low. Now what we can do, we're now expecting, when we see these moves, we're expecting at some point a pullback, okay, against this trading range to then look for a continuation lower again. Now all this is going to make sense. We're confirming, okay, let's go through this again. We went through the monthly time frame. With that break of structure, we had our range, we pulled back to a monthly supply. we've confirmed that supply by seeing that shift out, okay, with this new structure technique. There's our shift of structure, leaving a new supply on the weekly. Now we've pulled back into the weekly supply, and we're now confirming that shift right here with a new shift of structure, okay, that confirmation reversal entry. Now we've pushed down. This indicates now the trading range I'm in. I'm looking for a pullback. And from this area, we've just swept this low of this demand. So it's been taken, but very often you're going to find what sits below a demand, okay, is what we call an imbalance. And what do we have sitting down here? An area of imbalance. And that's where we're seeing price potentially now pushing higher from. So what we're going to do, we're going to look now on a 4-hour time frame. I'm going to show you how to look for a precision entry. So keep watching if you want to be able to understand how you can look to use this all the way down to 3-minute entry, okay, or a 3-minute zone. I'm going to mark here and show you how you can do this. And of course, if you are looking to take this further, understanding structures to a whole new level, then do check out that 90-day profit trading system. Again, there is limited spots available. If you want to see more consistency in your trading, do check it out. There's a link below in the description of this video. Now, what we're looking for now is the 4-hour time frame structures again. So we need to mark out our 4-hour high, our 4-hour low, and of course our 4-hour BOS. And this will all make sense. Now, what we're looking for the reason we see that low being created on the daily, we're looking for a swing pullback on the daily. What's going to identify the start of a swing pullback on that daily? The 4-hour confirmation reversal. Okay, so the trend shifting back bullish. We have a valid break of structure here to the downside. We zoom in here. Okay, it's better to see these candles up close. So when we see this break here to the downside, we have a valid high created here. The market pushes down, we have this pullback, and this creates, okay, a new low. So the market then quickly pushes lower again, creating this new low here. We're going to just move this daily down, and then we have a small quick break of structure there, which is a valid break of structure. And then we have a new swing high here. So you're starting to see how price is now coming down into this area we've already seen. We have a nice shift bullish. And what happens is now we have, okay, this is a new BOS bullish. That's the first time we've seen that bullish reversal, including that bullish low being created on the daily, confirming that price is heading higher. So when we see this, what we're going to do now is let's just bring this down so we're not in the way. Actually, let's just take it away. You know it's a low there anyway. What we're going to do, we need to look for a reason to be able to take a buy. Now, on this move up, for me, we want to see price coming back to be validated for an entry to go back long against your 4-hour high. Now, we haven't created a 4-hour high yet, so we're going to create a 4-hour high first so you can see how this is created. Let's go forward a candle by candle. Right, so still nothing. Okay, I'm looking for a close down. Okay, so there is a close down. That's validated this high. Now there's ways we look at our entries. I'm not going to go into detail on that because a lot of this is explained in that 90-day profit trading system and other videos in the channel. This is all about making sure you're mapping your structures correctly, reading price on the chart. So many of you do not read price correctly. So we have this push away. Now this was an area which has now been closed through. I'm not going to go into detail what it's all about, but we've closed through on that bearish candle. That tells me straight away there's one place we're going to go right now, and that is for this low here. I'll mark this out as an area of potential liquidity. So I know price on the 4 hours is going to want to run this low potentially. So now what I need to do, I need to find down here. And what we're going to do is do a replay back here somewhere. So where we see this pushing away, okay, instead of this high, just so you can see this in real time, 15-minute time frame. Let's go forward. So we're looking for a area to be created. Now, if you look, I had a previous area here created of demand, that got tested into, okay, with this candlestick. So this was the area we wicked in, so it's still a valid zone, but it is a tested zone. And it would also mean I would have to see price want to run this low to go deeper. So yes, it's a zone that is already tested now for me. I'd like to see a fresh zone left behind. So I'm going to go down to 5 minute now. I'm going to have a look and see what we've got left over. That's how you can look for your precision entries. So we have here a push up. Okay, very, very small leftover area here, but we have a better looking zone here. So you have this mauve left over. Okay, so this looks like a nice sell to buy move, which creates an area of demand. But obviously, again, we'd have to bring this down to this low, and it's been fully filled by this move. So it's not a great zone. Yes, we still have this small leftover gap just here as well. If we now go to a 3 minute time frame, let's have a look. We can fine tune this even better. So again, we can see this is the level. Now we can fine tune it to here. That's our leftover demand zone. And again, if we look to the left, we have a very small area just left over below this low. But this is the first demand zone, which we also have this low here. Okay, so you can see this is our low in the market, where we actually looked at that on the 4 hour as a liquidity low to be taken. So we're just going to mark this across, okay, to the right. That is the zone I want to see price coming into. So now what I can do, I can look to take a buy. So let's just zoom this across. Once I've seen this, there's my break of structure area. That becomes a valid area that I can look to take a buy from. Okay, now my stop can either be below the low of this zone or the low of this low here. So what we're looking for a target, well, let's just go through back to that 4 hour time frame, and we'll just go back to where we had price pulling back. Now, hopefully you are continuing to understand what we're doing right now, going through these different time frames, confirming it. If you are, please drop a comment below and let me know you are understanding. If there's something that's not clear, then let me know what it isn't clear, and we'll look at going through it in more detail in another video. But what we're looking for is that continuation. Just go forward. We need to find that pullback. Okay, looking for that pullback. There's our pullback. Okay, so there is that liquidity level. Now look what sits right below that level is our zone we've created, and that's where we're looking for this entry. So our target would be, okay, that 4 hour high. So we've dragged this across. Now our zone was about there somewhere. So zoom in. Now obviously you can confirm this out if you wish as well on a 15 minute for a better confirmation. But we understand that price has only got this level really here. This is an area of liquidity I'm expecting price to run. So understanding your structure, we're now bullish, looking for pullback to this area. Now that's at least a 31 hour. If you're looking at price to come back, okay, if you use this as a low, I believe down here somewhere perhaps, you can look at around about a 22 hour, which is still a good trade. Gives you a bit more room in the trade. Now, if we go to a 15 minute time frame, we can follow price on a 15 minute as well. So we can look at how price is shifting here. And again, we do the same thing. We have this move up, we did break structure, so we'll mark that off as a BOS. This became my valid low, a new BOS. As price continues to shift down, this is a new break of structure here. Okay, and yes, this is a new low in the market, so we're looking for the continuation low. So let's go forward. The market has held. Okay, and now what we see is a new break higher. Okay, so we broke this high. We'll make this a 15 minute high, and we broke out bullish. Now we've created a new high. Okay, so you can start to see how price is shifting. So at this point in time, we're nowhere near an area to buy from. So just mark this off as that 15 low. So we know that we're looking for price on this 4 hour time frame to pull back to this area of demand down here. That's our only demand zone we can look to buy from. Now we can either just use this set and forget entry strategy style, or you can look to confirm this level, okay, on the lower time frames again as price comes back in. But we'll look at the structure now on the 15. Let's go forward. Okay, so now we've broken out lower. So we're going to follow this structure. So now we've broken that structure low, we can mark this across. Okay, this is what I would do on a day-to-day basis when I'm following price. This remains my high. This was my low. If we push lower, then I'm going to have a new. When we didn't push lower, we pushed high. So do you see how price has come down, failed to run this low, and a new break of structure bullish? And you're perhaps saying, well, hang on a minute, price is now pushing away to the upside. You've missed the move. And that's where fear of missing out is going to come in your trading. Okay, so what I'm going to mark this off and lock this in position for now. Now, I don't have a new high. That's my last break of structure. We've come nowhere near this zone that we highlighted back here, okay, on the lower time frame. So I'm not prepared to buy. If this heads up from here and takes the high, so be it. You missed the move. The fear of missing out will create more losing trades for you. It did for me when I first started trading. So try and not let it affect you. Let's go forward and see what happens. So we created this as a new high. So we now have a new high in the market. We're bullish, but we haven't come down to our zone. So we want to see a further drop. So what we're looking for, another break of structure, okay, a new swing high. Then this is a valid low here in the market. That's your valid break of structure there. And we're looking to see if we can shift back bearish or continue higher. So we sweep the high and we're holding at this area. Let's see, we are going to go lower or higher. And we're hovering around and now we've broken out low. So now this becomes a new break of structure right there. Okay, so there's your break of structure. And then this becomes my new swing high. And what we're going to do, we're going to close it into this price again. See, now if you don't lock this in place, it would keep moving and it would be very irritating to me. So now we're looking, as this candle closes up, that bullish candle, that creates this a valid low in the market. So now my break of structure is here. This is my valid high. This is my low. And the market is likely to pull back into this area or this area of supply and continue to fall lower. So let's go forward. So currently we pushed up into this area. We just wicked through. So now we're likely to go into the higher zone, which we've just done on that candle. And we'll be looking to see if we can hold. We don't, we go back bullish again. So now structure is shifting bullish. So we're going to go to this area. Remember, all this time you're not trading, you're waiting, you're watching price. And now your new low is going to be down here. Now a new high has not been created. We're going to go forward until we create a drop. We have a drop. This becomes my new high. And we're bullish once again. So let's go forward to see what happens with structure. And straight away we push back bearish. So if you're looking to be buying here, okay, you're seeing a sweep, whatever, and you're buying, you're looking for price to run to the high, and you've not done your research, not found the ideal location pinpointed by using your structures, okay, and down here, which I didn't go through, that 3-minute zone of demand is a structure area as well. Now price is running to your area. Yeah, okay, so we can say that in hindsight, I know what is going to happen, but you test this out in live conditions and you'll find how it's going to help you with your trading. We went through, we found that daily low. We then found the 4-hour shifting structure. We then went through to find a precision entry zone to buy from. Now it's going to go forward from here. We've entered into that zone and we push back up. Now at this point, let's go in. This is still a bearish move in the market. So we've still got on our 15-minute, a break of structure here, a current high, and my new low is down here. So that's what the 15-minute is showing me. So we're expecting price to come back to continue to go lower. This is where you've taken your entry. And again, like I said, you could have used your stop below the low of the zone you've got marked, or this swing low for safety below that swing low is going to be better. And now let's just see if price continues to push up or down. We're going very sideways. We slowly are pushing higher. And if you've waited, say this is a set of get entry, if you waited for this shift in the 15-minute you've waited too long and you've missed the mode. Okay, so not all trades are going to work on a confirmation if you're waiting to confirm this zone, but look at the size of this zone. Why would you want to confirm it? You've got such a small zone there. You're expecting a wick in and a continuation, and that's what we get. Now, when we see this break of structure, I can bring this across. New break of structure is now bullish. Right there, there's a bullish break, and my new low is here. Okay, so that's my new structure range, and you just look for the pullback again. But that is how you can look to capture 22-hour trades. Now, I'm not saying that all trades are going to be this great to find and capture, but once you understand reading your structures, okay, reading all the way through multiple time frames and applying it this way is going to help you much better in finding better entries. Hey traders, we'll get back to the video in a second, but if you're tired of second guessing trades and struggling for consistency, listen up. Danny was just like you, stuck in a losing cycle, down nearly $300,000. Then he joined the 90-day profit trading system. Now he trades with confidence and has already made back a quarter of those losses. This system gives you everything you need to trade profitably. Step-by-step strategy, personal support, and lifetime community access. Spots are limited, and we only take a handful of traders each time enrollment opens. If you're serious about finally seeing results, click the link in the description now before it's too late. Now back to the video. Now make sure you head over and watch this next video, because if you're not sure on this structure technique, it's going to go through step by step to help you understand exactly how to be marking them out.